So I'm just kind of out here right now, taking a nice little casual ride through the forest. Not going trail riding. I can't do that right now. I'm just going to a neighboring city and I'm taking the scenic route. I wanted to tell you about this dream that I had last night. A little on the weird side. So the dream started, I was at this gas station and there was a lady there. Apparently I knew her, and she was getting off work and I was just there shopping or something like that, and it seemed like I was on a motorcycle, but it happened once before in a dream where I start the dream on what seems like my motorcycle, but then it kind of transitions to me being on a bike because I end up pedaling at some point. But that's not even where the dream really starts. Like, I mean, I guess it did begin there as far as my recollection is concerned. So at some point I end up going to her house after I'd been going down the road for a bit. Why did I just turn my blinker on? That's a bad habit. I mean, it's a good habit, but no need for it out here. I don't want to go this way. I don't want to go this way at all. Alright, I gotta turn my GPS off. I can't have that an Australian guy talking in my ear. Okay, so like I was saying before, I was getting all distracted quite a few times by my GPS. So at some point, me and at least two other people, what it seemed like another dude and another lady, ended up going to this lady's house. I don't know the house, doesn't look familiar, don't know the lady, she doesn't look familiar. When we get there, it appears that she's distraught for whatever reason. She's already there, and we're gathering that someone's robbing her place. So we go up to the front door and we're like doing it in a cautious manner, looking around, like kind of eking our way in the door, just like you're playing Call of Duty or something like that, and you kind of like clearing a room or something. So we go into the house and we go to the backyard, and there's these two guys, and they're like big fellas, and they're like clearly robbing her. But whenever we catch them in the act and we're like, hey, yeah, well, we didn't say much, but we were just wondering what the hell was going on, and they saw us there and they like had this surprised, scared look on their face, but they didn't run or anything. They just kept robbing the house. And this is the point where it got a little weird or a little strange. So this lady has an elephant in her backyard, and they're apparently trying to steal her elephant. But at the time, you know, they weren't like pulling the elephant with a rope or anything like that. This one guy was actually taking one of her turkeys, and he was carrying the turkey, and he had it wrapped up in something. He was trying to wrap it in something before he took it to his truck. And this, you know, hindsight, me thinking about it after the dream, doesn't make any sense, because coming from a guy that's had a couple of turkeys chase him before, and not wild turkeys, because I'd never be able to get close to those, and they probably wouldn't be aggressive. Like I said, they would be gone before you even got close to them. But I was working, doing a job this one time, and we were at this guy's house, and he had a couple of, I don't know if they were pet turkeys, they were definitely domesticated turkeys. And they saw me approaching their gate in front of their house, and they both started kind of slowly, ever increasing their speed, charging towards me eventually. And the way they did it was weird. It was like a strange little one deep turkey wall, and they were kind of moving in step, like they were right leg, left leg, trotting towards me, kind of bouncing side by side, and they were doing it in sync. It was weird. So there's no way this guy would have been able to carry this turkey like that. And I think it may have been a girl turkey, I don't know. Like jakes don't always look, or gobblers rather, they don't always look all puffed up and stuff. So it could have been a boy turkey, I don't know. I digress completely. So the dude's trying to wrap up the turkey, and they're trying to get the elephant, and then at some point, like very shortly after that, we're kind of going back in the house, and we're kind of panicking amongst ourselves. You know, what do we do? What do we do? Around that time, a dragon comes. I shit you not, a dragon like flies like from her backyard, just kind of out from nowhere from the sky in a distance. And we run inside again, because I think we go back out there to look, you know, after wondering what we're gonna do. And we see the dragon, and immediately we're like, oh crap, we got to get inside. You know, we got to run away from the dragon. And I don't think we felt safe around the people that were trying to steal our turkeys or an elephant either. But the dragon comes, and the people that I'm with, the guy and the lady or two ladies, I forget how many occupants there were exactly, they're like panicking because the dragon's there. And I'm just like, no, it's cool, it's fine, because somehow I thought that the dragon was going to stop the two robbers. Now, the dragon, what the dragon did was, we were like watching it from what I'm assuming was the kitchen out of the window. So the dragon takes these guys, and it's happening in like spurts of occurrences. But what I can clearly see has happened is the dragon has taken the elephant for whatever reason and like ripped it open and broken the guys that were robbing the lady all to bits. I mean, they weren't broken into pieces, but their limbs were all contorted and going in strange ways that they wouldn't normally be going if your bones were normally positioned and not broken. So he had taken these two guys, ripped the elephant open, and broken the guys all up and stuffed them inside of the elephant. And they were kind of laying in the elephant. And around that time, the elephant, or not the elephant, the dragon morphs into a lady, like a black lady. And she starts cooking right there in the kitchen, or I don't know, somehow, maybe we weren't in the kitchen, maybe we were in like a dining room or something else. That was a window, and we could see through the window and see the kitchen. And like the kitchen was somehow also part of the outside. I don't know, it was strange. You know how dreams, they kind of shift as you go along. So she starts cooking, and for whatever reason, the guys that are, they're all broken up and still alive inside of the elephant, they're talking to each other, or they're talking to her or something like that, and they're like, oh man, that smells good. To the point that they're no longer, I mean, not that they were ever in complete dismay, but they're just basically relaxing like a couple guys in a hot tub or something like that. And they're like, man, that smells good. And at that point, the guys get up out of the elephant, and I guess their bones heal or something, because they look normal again, and they're walking around, and they all break into like song and dance, like mostly the ladies cooking and singing, And I don't remember what they're singing or how they're singing it exactly, but the two guys were dancing while they were singing around the kitchen, just completely happy that this lady was cooking food. I guess it must have really smelled good. So they're cooking. I don't know where I'm at because I turned off my GPS so I could concentrate. The lady's cooking, the guys aren't cooking, they're just full-on song and dance mode. And I don't even like musicals or anything, so it didn't really bother me, or I was pretty neutral about it in the dream. I was just kind of weirded out by it. Around that time, the lady comes in and starts talking to us, and I start to respond back to her and say something along the lines of, man, I thought it was really weird whenever such and such happened and the guys were in the elephant. And she was like, will you let me finish? And she continued to talk to us about what I forget completely. I'm surprised I've remembered that much about the dream, because sometimes I don't remember that much. And she went back in the kitchen and started cooking, and then that was the end of it. I like woke up after that. Kind of not really weirded out feeling, because I've had some dreams that really disturb me. Like I had one dream where, and it wasn't that long ago, I was on my motorcycle at this weird biker-like store. And I say biker store, it was a strange store. It had all sorts of stuff, restaurants and everything else. And these people were there in the middle of the night, and there was some kind of carnival or circus going on, something like that, outside, or fair, just something where there's vendors and like tent-like things. And there was leather stuff, like biker leather stuff for sale in the store, and there were other people on motorcycles there, so it may have been some sort of biking event. And I went outside to check out this vendor that had like a raffle, and the raffle thing was, oh, short shifting like crazy. Sorry, I'm completely losing train of thought. The raffle item, or the item being raffled, was like a dirt bike. And at some point, like I was walking, or I was pedaling a bike, because I was firstly on my motorcycle, and then I was pedaling a bike. But this isn't one of those instances where it just kind of shifted like in the last dream. And this one, apparently these guys had stolen my motorcycle and torn it all apart and like knocked me over the head or something, because my head hurt. And I even woke up and my head, not really hurt, but just, it felt weird. I don't know what that was about. But yeah, that was my weird dragon elephant dream that I had last night, this morning. Cut my sleep short by at least 2 hours, I'm thinking. There was no way I was going back to sleep after that. But I like dreams like that. I like being able to sleep. It seems like whenever I wake up from having really weird dreams, it seems like I'm sleeping really good. I read something on the internet about it being involved or related to REM sleep. Maybe that's the case, maybe it's not. I don't know. I do know that whenever I'm dreaming really hard like that, and it seems like the weirder the dreams are, the more interested I am. I don't want to wake up. I've actually hit my snooze button on days where I didn't have to wake up for anything, and gone right back to sleep just so I could continue the dream. And sometimes it works, and sometimes just an attempt, and you go to either a different dream, or you can't go back to sleep, or you don't recall anything else after that at all, or me anyway, I'm talking about my perspective. So I like weird dreams, and I like it whenever they cause me to sleep really deeply, seemingly, whenever I wake up. Because I have trouble sleeping sometimes. I don't know why, I just do. I always have.